Y'all got y'all teacups? I'm sipping on water, but I got some tea to spill. Today we talking about Chris Christie. Y'all know Chris Christie. Let me remind you. This is Chris Christie. I know. I could have picked a much better picture of Chris Christie, but sometimes when you're spilling tea, you get shady and messy. Anywho, Chris Christie has a niece. And she's causing a bit of a problem for not only herself, but for Chris Christie. His niece was recently kicked off a plane down in New Orleans, and while she was getting kicked off the plane, she injured 6 deputies. Here's what's going on. Her name is Shannon Epstein, and she's only 25 years old, but she's old enough to know better. On November 24th at 6 a.m., she boarded a Spirit Airlines flight. And when she boarded that flight, she came across a Latino couple. And that's when her racism kicked in. She asked the Latino couple if they were smuggling cocaine. Now, what would make Shannon ask a Latino couple if they were smuggling drugs? Y'all think about that. Anywho, back to the story. Now, you know, Shannon asking a Latino couple if they are smuggling drugs is going to cause a problem on the flight. And so the flight was taxiing down the runway, and the crew immediately was like, no, she needs to be removed from the flight. So they turn around and head back to the gate. All the while, Shannon's getting more and more irate. Why is she getting irate? Because she feels she's entitled to display her racism and ask a Latino couple if they're smuggling drugs. They get to the gate. Of course, Shannon refused to get off the flight. So they call the police. 6 deputies arrive. It takes all 6 deputies to remove her from the flight. While they're trying to remove her from the flight, she's biting them. She's kicking them in the groin. She's fighting. So much so that paramedics had to be called. And as she's fighting, she's letting them know that she's related to powerful people. Her uncle is a friend of Donald Trump's. She's threatening them, telling them that they're going to lose their jobs. Yeah. So as the 6 officers struggle to get Shannon off of the plane, they eventually get her off the plane, where a 7th deputy handcuffs her to a wheelchair. I don't know about you, but this entire behavior being displayed from Shannon is rooted in racism and white supremacy, but it gives me the feeling that Booger Sugar is playing a role in all of this as well. Anywho, Shannon was booked on 6 counts of battery on a police officer, 3 counts of disturbing the peace, 1 for resisting arrest by force, and 1 of remaining after forbidden. She paid a $10,750 bail, and she was released. She's scheduled to go back to court on January 23rd. Chris Christie is heavily involved in politics. He does a lot of commentary on some of those news stations, MSNBC, CNN. He's been on Fox News. He's working behind the scenes in politics. He worked with Donald Trump. He was a part of Donald Trump's team. I guarantee you, if his niece, Shannon, at the age of 25, has these racist thoughts and feel entitled enough to spew them out, Chris Christie is the same way. Birds of a feather flock together. It runs in the family. All of the cliches that you can think about. Later.